Recreating Daniel Smith's Autumn Watercolor Collection in an Arteza Watercolor Sketchbook. Starting with Aussie Red Gold. I don't have this color, so I improvised by mixing Yellow Ochre from Daniel Smith and Cadmium Yellow Pale from Winsor & Newton. It doesn't really resemble the orange gold hue of Aussie Red Gold. I'll have to improvise later. Next up is Rose of Ultramarine. Again, I don't have this color, so I used a version of dioxazine purple from Core that happened to be in my mixing tray. It works, but the Rose of Ultramarine seems to have more of a reddish hue to it. Maybe next time I'll mix a touch of red and see what happens. Finally is Undersea Green. Don't have it, so I used Green Apatite Genuine from Daniel Smith. I really love the results of mixing this one, as you'll see at the end, so keep watching. Now let's do some wet on wet mixing. Here I'm putting down some fresh water, and then first up is the yellow ochre, and then the purple. I didn't really know what I was going for with this, so it kind of turned out into a mess. First, I didn't mix my yellows before mixing in the purple, and then they just weren't behaving the way I expected them to. Finally, adding the cadmium yellow allowed some semblance of a blend. As you can see here with my brush strokes, it's clear that I have no idea what I'm doing. Maybe rectangles aren't the way to go. Now with the cadmium yellow, it seems to be a little bit closer to that Aussie red gold. So I think that wasn't too bad. But my mixing here is just not great. Let's try another mix. This one combines purple on the left with green on the right. Again, they didn't seem to mix the way I wanted them to. I had hoped they would sort of flow into one another since I had put down so much water. Instead, the colors kind of stay in place. Then I tried to mix them with the brush, but nothing really happened. I still didn't know what I was doing. It's just part of the learning process. Play with colors and see what happens. At this point, I should have let it go, but I didn't. And I kept going. And yeah. Lastly, I put down my puddle of water and added the yellow ochre and cadmium yellow together. They started to lightly flow into the middle of the circle. That was really exciting. None of the others did that. Then I dropped in the green apatite on the right. It also flowed toward the center. I tried to help the mix a bit, but I didn't really need it. I might have overworked it. Don't exactly know what that means, but if I had to guess, maybe it means I pushed the paint around more than it needed to be. But still, what a cool mix. There you go. Those are the mixes. Here they are still wet, but what do they look like dry? Still looks pretty cool. How about some close-ups? This yellow and green mix is my favorite. That granulation is exquisite. The yellow purple is meh. The purple green is neat, but not my favorite. What's this? Plot twist! I so bought the paints. After I finished editing the previous portion, I decided to get the trio that Daniel Smith put together for their autumn collection. I didn't buy the actual box trio, which comes with 5 milliliter tubes, but I got the 15 milliliter tubes individually. I don't know what came over me. I had made this great set of colors, but I was feeling like something wasn't right. I didn't like my mix to take the place of Aussie red gold, and I really didn't like the way the purple looked in this particular context. I was happy with the green apatite and loved that granulation, but I was still curious about the undersea green. So I went to my local art store and purchased the colors. I immediately put them to use. What do you think? Do you think the Daniel Smith Autumn Trio will be better than my own mixes? Or did you like what I had come up with on my own? Tell me in the comments. First up is Aussie Red Gold. Look at how rich that is. How would you compare that to the yellow ochre and cadmium yellow that I mixed up? Now here is the rose of ultramarine. It does have that reddish hue to it, like I thought. Neat! Finally, the undersea green. Beautiful. It looks very similar to the green apatite, but I think as it dries, the granulation is more subtle. So let's do some mixing. I'm going to put down my puddle of water, and then I'll mix in some of the Aussie red gold with rose of ultramarine. I love how the Aussie red gold quickly dispersed into the water. And it just keeps going. It's so cool. The rose doesn't quite have the same effect. I tried to get them to mix in the middle there, but don't think it's doing so well. Let's see about the next mix. We have the rose of ultramarine here. I forgot to put the water down before putting down paint. Oops. Easily mendable. Here by itself, it does spread a little. But not like the undersea green. Wow. It just wants to go all over the place. It even puts veins out into the purple. Just wow. So putting down my puddle of water. That's always a fun, exciting thing to do. Lastly, we have Aussie red gold with undersea green. Wow, look at that spread. It makes my heart happy. We saw before the green spreading like crazy too. Let's see if it does the same here. Yes, indeed. It sure does. It slows down a bit at the interface between the colors. I'm really curious to see how it will dry. If you've been liking this video and what I'm doing, click the like button. That'd be cool. And why not a subscribe too? How awesome would that be? Here's the trio, still wet. Took a long time to dry, I will tell you that. And here they are dried. Now let's do a few little close-ups. Here is my recreation attempt. And here are the colors that Daniel Smith put together. And here they are side by side. Which do you like better? Drop a comment.